Hello and welcome to the first special of geeksinthecloset.com.
Hello.
I am Conor.
I am Jay.
And not with us for now is Francis.
Fran, we actually sent him for a run out of the closet. You know, every now and again we got to send someone out to forage for food and
oxygen.
And oxygen. And it's been over an hour and he hasn't returned, so we just thought we'd...
I'm actually quite fond of the extra legroom though.
Yes, yes. We're not bumping into anyone here. Look, I'm spreading the whole way out.
I can nearly stretch fully. So this is going to be the first Geeks in the Closet special. And we're doing it on...
VR!
Hey, I thought you were going to sing the thing.
Oh, we're going to sing a thing. I got really scared there when you were like, oh god, he expects me to say something now? On what? I'm technically on a chair, but we're supposed to be in a closet. And yeah, okay.
We are in a closet. Alright, anyway, let's not sing. Let's just get stuck in. So first, VR.
Yes, so excited. We had to dedicate an entire episode to this because it's just so exciting.
Mostly because we'll just ramble on for the vast majority of this.
It's our boyhood dreams come true. It's amazing, and we're living in this now. It's this year. It's happening. Exciting. As
T says, T that is referenced on our website geeksinthecloset.com.
Yes.
It is it's the beginning of the holodeck.
Basically, which is all T is waiting for.
Yeah. That's all he wants to happen. So, for this episode, what we're going to do, we're going to talk about our own experiences first.
Yes.
I'm going to say what we've experienced in the only kind of newly beginning world of VR. And then we're going to tell each other about things we've researched and just kind of wrap up then, I suppose. So,
great.
Jay, what have you seen in the world of VR?
Well, the only thing I'd really count is myself and Fran last year went up to the Game of Thrones exhibit up in Belfast. And besides the exhibit being an amazing experience anyway, there was a VR part there. There was a little section. And I think it was an early model of the Oculus Rift that they were showcasing. But basically what you did was you queued up for ages. And by the time you got to the booths, there was, about 3 or 4 booths in a row.
How long were the queues out of interest?
Oh, very long. It was very long for an already busy exhibit. We were there the year before that as well, and that wasn't there, and it was already jammers. This made it so much more, but so worth the wait once we got there.
That's what I was going to ask,
You queue up, you get into these, let's call them giant dressing room type things. They were bigger than that. There was
kind of the thing you go in to get your photos taken. It was like photo
kind of, but much bigger. To be honest, it's meant to be simulating an elevator. So I should have just said it was like an elevator because that's what it is. So you walk in.
Should we go back?
No, we're not going to. We're never.
We never.
You get into the booth and this person comes over and straps all the headgear onto you because it was a bit complicated at the time. So they put all that stuff on you and they kind of close it over your head properly, and then they leave you, and straight away all you could see is this wall of white, and you're like, what is that? And it's kind of cold in there, and the air starts sort of breathing, and then there's this metallic noise, and you can see these chains beside you when you're in the VR. It's amazing, and just looking around was absolutely fantastic. You could just go the full 360. I didn't feel any way dizzy or nervous or anything like that. I knew there was actually a wall I could hold on to if I really needed to. But then the air starts kind of moving, and the sounds let you know that it's rising. So you're looking around, and all of a sudden you're rising, and you can see, and you're like, oh, I'm on a wall. And then because I'm at the Game of Thrones exhibit, I'm like, I know where I am. I'm at the wall, and I'm going straight up, and so it goes up for ages and ages and ages. And then I properly turn around, and all I can see is Westeros in the distance. I'm like, oh my freaking god, this is amazing. You see all the wilderness and you're just looking around everywhere, and spent ages just admiring that, but then keeping an eye behind me to say, am I nearly at the top of the wall? Of course not. I know how big this wall is. So I'm going up and I'm going up and I'm going up, and then you get to the top and you look over and then you can see all of the north, and oh my god, it was amazing. And then out of nowhere a catapult thing launches and there's a fireball coming towards you. Straight towards you. And I'm like trying to dodge out of the way. It was like, it was absolutely amazing. Fran loved it just as much, but it was so good.
Hopefully if he returns from his run he'll be able to to give his 2 cents on the matter.
I'm also quite hungry. I want a Pop-Tart or something.
Yeah. The towels in here are not sustaining us at all. One thing, just you said there, this popped into my head.
Yeah.
You said you knew how big the wall was.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm going to say? Oh, you don't.
No,
You're smirking like you
don't.
do. So when season 1 of Game of Thrones...
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
I know, but I'm going to tell everyone.
Go on.
When season 1 was being filmed and they built a kind of a scaled down version of the wall, and George R. R. Martin visited the set. Mm-hmm. Right, and so he walks up and they're like, "Oh, we're sorry, we know this is nowhere near the size the wall is in the books, but we're going to add in the rest of it digitally." And he just like, "What? No, this is a lot bigger than what I imagined in the books." Turns out he hasn't a clue about measurements. He has no internal idea of
he doesn't do scale very well.
No, so like it's supposed to be, in his mind, it's like not that much higher than maybe 4 stories or 5 stories or something. And meanwhile, in reality, it's like 800 miles high or something.
Yeah, well,
ridiculous.
I think on this occasion we can agree he was wrong.
Yeah.
This is the way the wall's going to be, George. I know you wrote the thing, but no.
Oh, it's just so funny. Can you imagine they're showing up and being like, "Oh yeah, this is a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be." Yeah, this is tiny. What?
We're going more, George. Think more.
Think bigger.
Okay, so that's me. What's your first experience?
My first experience of VR was through Google Cardboard.
Oh,
that was only recently. So for those who are not in the know, I'm going to talk about it at length later. But Google Cardboard is kind of Google's way of trying to make VR much cheaper and much more accessible to the wider populace than, we'll say, your Oculus Rift or your PlayStation.
If
VR.
nothing else, it's a nice teaser for what's coming.
Yeah, exactly. So my first experience of VR was through that. So it's I'll explain it in detail later, but basically when I was watching the welcome video, it just blew my mind. It just absolutely blew my mind because you're watching it and I had the headphones in and you're kind of looking around and there's it's just all black, and then you start hearing this whirring noise. I was like, what's that? And I kind of, because it sounded like it was coming behind and to the right, I turned and it was there and it was just a number counting down. And that got me really excited, and it just kept changing scenes. At one point you're in a museum kind of corridor hallway or something, and you're looking around, you go, why am I here? And then it goes black again, and then I'm in the jungle. But what's great is when the first time I did it, right, I'm in the jungle, I was looking around and I just looked up and I was like, wow, I'm in the jungle. I looked around and then I saw in the distance, I saw like a group of people and I thought, oh wow, look at them. But then T did it later on, and because he must have been standing a different way or facing a different way, he saw something I didn't see, which was this gorilla.
Oh, you didn't see the entire gorilla?
The entire gorilla. That's right beside you. Basically, instead of, you're supposed to always, you turn, it's 360. I must have just turned 355 and just didn't see the 5 degrees.
Oh my god.
And I was so annoyed. But it kind of unlocked this thought in my head going, you will never fully experience everything. Because we're used to video games or online or screen experiences being really limited to, you know, this is what you can see. Yeah. And once you've done it, you've seen everything. Whereas this 360, like, if you're able to do that, we're going to have to explore every inch of everything to see it all. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I know exactly what you mean, and I don't think anyone's ever going to experience a game the same way ever again.
No. It's going to be a game changer.
I'm just thinking about those guys who write walkthroughs. How much harder is that going to be now?
Walk 47 paces north.
You'll always need a compass in game.
Oh wow! I think that's a good thing, though.
That would be amazing, actually.
That's a really, really cool
I'm having thoughts. Patent. Okay.
Speaking of games, why don't you tell us about games that are going to be coming out on VR?
I would be delighted, and I'm actually going to start with a plug for my actual first Kickstarter pledge.
I've
never been involved in this stuff before. That's usually Conor's realm. I kind of nod and agree with him and go, wait till he finishes when he talks about something like this. But I found...
Thanks for the insight into whenever I'm talking.
At least we're honest with each other.
Let's hope our listeners aren't doing that when it's my segment.
If anyone remembers, and you have to remember if you own a PlayStation, the PT demo that was released, that Del Toro and Kojima were working on together.
And Norman
Reedus, which would have been great for
Dead,
well, he was going to be for Silent Hills, but he wasn't.
Well, yeah,
you know what I mean. But anyway, because that's been cancelled, that's gone and inspired a whole a whole heap of different games that could be coming out in the near future. But one of them is Visage, which I discovered. They had an amazing video, just grabbed me straight away. So I kind of said, I might well check out what this Kickstarter pledge is. So I had a look at it. It looks amazing. I know you've seen this video as well because I showed it to you immediately afterwards.
Unreal.
It looks so exciting. It's like PT, but think bigger. It's not just that corridor. It's a whole house. It's a huge house and an upstairs. Well, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
At the moment, it's a huge house. It's massive. And it's in the PT style and you're walking around. And you might be thinking, why am I talking about this in the VR segment? Well, I'm going to get to that right now. At the moment on their Kickstarter, they are at the nearly 68 grand mark. And those are Canadian dollars, so I don't know how that stacks up. But anyway, it's 68 grand.
So around €1.
around €1. The game has come to life at 35 grand, which I was delighted with because I pledged when they were around 27.
Which means
it's coming out. Okay. So if you want to sponsor this Kickstarter, if you want to donate money to this, the game is coming out. Like, it's not like it's a sure bet now. It's definitely coming out. You're getting the game for 45 grand coming to consoles. So it's coming to consoles, which I'm delighted about because I wouldn't have been interested unless it was a console personally. Then at the 50 grand mark, which they passed last week, VR support, which is going to be amazing. This game looks terrifying. Fran went home from watching the trailer.
The four of us watched it.
We all watched it together. Fran went home from this place nearly shitting himself to the point that he was texting going, I can't believe you made me watch that before we left.
He was so annoyed. And what I thought was hilarious was, and this is a total sidebar, but he just doesn't get being scared like we do. Like, we're horror film buffs and games and everything, but he was just like, how could you watch this? How do you get enjoyment from this?
Some people just don't. I've got a friend to this day. Now he's big guy, very well built. You wouldn't think he was a fraidy cat, but whenever we went to a scary movie, he wore a beanie hat, and we were like, "Why are you wearing the hat? What's going on?" And then like kind of watching him, and then as the movie started, the beanie hat would just come down over his eyes. We're like, "Oh god, he's terrified." Anyway, at the moment they're at the 68 grand mark. For 75 grand, if they reach that, and I'd be happy enough if they just reach this goal. The game gets bigger, they add more 3D character models, and there's more dead family members as opposed to just the antagonist you see in the promo video. And if you're wondering what this all is, you can check our website at geeksinthecloset.com. All these videos will be there for you. I would watch this one, it's amazing. 85 grand will get you multiple languages, which will be cool if you're not an English speaker or a French or Spanish. I think that's what they're going to add anyway. If they get to 110 grand, which I don't think, it doesn't look like they're going to now, but
how
maybe
many days are left in their campaign?
There is roughly 25, so there's a lot of time left. So if more people discover this and they keep donating, because the game is coming out now, it's basically pre-ordering at this stage. There's a major game extension, so there's way more environments, animations, better everything, which looks good. 160 grand will give you multiple endings, so maybe a bit like what's that game that you have again?
Which one? Until Dawn.
Until Dawn, a bit like Until Dawn. There'll be loads of different multiple endings and stuff like that. 250 grand is a secret. They're not telling anyone. I kind of want to know what it is, but God, I hope they reach that. But for the million, and I don't think they're going to reach this, but let's live in a world where they do, an alternate reality.
If they get to $1 million,
the house becomes an isolated town. So think PT in a town, a real life small town. How amazing would that be?
I don't know why I'm laughing, because it's a terrifying thought more than anything else.
But it's an exciting thought that we could walk around this haunted town. Oh my god, I'm just thinking.
You see, that's the thing, and we have to keep reminding ourselves of that.
Yeah,
like you're talking about one game there, and you're going to mention a few others now, but we have to remember it's not just playing a game when you have your TV screen, your controller. It's being in the game,
totally immersed.
When you hear a sound. Like I said earlier about me hearing this sound and I turned behind me to the right, that's going to have repercussions in a game,
especially in a horror game. Like anyone who played PT will know about this, but if you have the controller, it's worse than watching a movie because you just feel so much more invested. How much worse is that going to be when you actually feel like you're there because it's VR? It might kill some people. Actually, VR might kill some people.
Yeah,
I'm predicting that.
Yeah,
they're going to die from heart attacks. Okay, so having said that, please donate to Visage Kickstarter. Please do that. I'm going to
donate to this possible cause of death.
I'm going to get started now. I'm going to start
Can I
talking
just
about.
stop you for
go
a
on,
second?
go on.
I just realised something. For a man who says he knows nothing about Kickstarter, you've brought up 2 Kickstarter campaigns in our podcast so far, and I've never said anything about them.
I know. I've only donated once, though. How many times have you donated?
Oh, 3 or 4 maybe in total.
Okay, it's on the record now.
Okay.
I'm going to start talking about what's coming out on PlayStation VR, which I'm most excited about because I have a PlayStation, so I'm a bit biased. But anyway, now,
Same.
before I start, there's a lot of games here that I have down, and some of them I'm just going to mention and say briefly what they are, but I'm not going to go into detail. Some of it's because the amount of detail I have is the most anyone knows, actually, because they haven't released everything.
Well, first let's talk about the actual VR itself before we go into the games, I think.
Yeah, sure.
So originally it was PlayStation VR was going to be called Project Morpheus, which I thought...
Well, that was his project designation, but
Yeah.
from any games or consoles that come out, their code name isn't always going to be what their actual name is. Yeah.
I really wish they did call it Morpheus.
Oh, it'd be so much cooler than PlayStation VR.
Naming it after the god of dreams, like God.
Genius.
But so the PlayStation VR, there is no official price yet.
No, there isn't.
No, which kind of worries me.
Yeah.
Because we may as well mention it now, but the price I have it here for the Oculus Rift, which is the only major games oriented VR headset out.
Yeah.
Is going to be €539.20.
And I have it here as 99. 599.
599.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
I'm looking at a comparison. I have a comparison in front of me.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah. So pricing I have in front of me here, and this is according to digitaltrends.com. So let's see how reliable these are. I'm sure they are very reliable, but let's see. $599 for the Oculus Rift, and the PlayStation is to be announced.
That's the difference. I found $599. This is euro I'm talking about.
Oh, right. Maybe it converts. It doesn't
converted.
convert to that, though, does it? Does it?
Well,
okay, right, okay.
When I did.
Their displays are the same. They're both OLED. Panel size, for some reason the Oculus Rift hasn't been announced, the panel size, whereas the PlayStation VR is 5.7, which is weird because the Oculus is coming out in April, I think, so I don't know why.
Maybe there's different sizes, you can buy different sizes.
That's a possibility. Yeah, that is a possibility. Resolution, it's 2160 by 1200 for the Oculus, and it's 1920 by 1080 for the Morpheus. I've done it again. I keep calling it the Morpheus. So the resolution is going to be a bit higher on the Oculus. The refresh rate is 90 hertz eye display for the Oculus. It's
but what does that mean?
20 hertz. Yeah, I did look this up, and I understood it when I looked it up, and now I don't. Again, but I think it's something to do with like the frame rate.
Okay,
I think so. I think
it's probably to do with how smooth the images are. Like when you turn suddenly to the right, how quickly it buffers or loads.
Whatever it means, the resolution being better on the Oculus Rift isn't actually as good as the refresh rate. So the refresh rate is apparently more important. Yeah. But we'll see. Anyway, I don't know. For the field of view, it's 110 degrees for the Oculus Rift. It's 100 degrees for PlayStation
very
VR.
Tiny difference.
It just means the screen size would be very tiny. Well, technically it's going to be 360 vision for everybody.
Yeah.
You can turn your bloody head. For the actual display, you can see right in front of you.
Actually, I wonder how many degrees the human eye can actually see. Is it 180? Because you can kind of see. No,
it's not quite 180. I don't know.
No,
maybe about 140 or so.
If you include the crappy peripheral vision.
Well, we don't have eyes on the side of our head, so we're missing all this. Like, you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm doing sort of bubble motion beside my side of my head. So that's kind of the big thing. The sensors are more or less the same. The connections are a good bit different, actually. For the Oculus Rift, you need a HDMI 1.3 output, 3 USB 3.0 ports, and 1 USB 2.0 port.
Wait,
just
sorry,
for
what?
that. The connections that you need.
No. But you need them to connect the Oculus Rift to your gaming PC.
Yes, you need all. That's the connections you need.
That's a lot.
Whereas for the PlayStation VR, you just need a HDMI and USB. A standard USB.
But you see that the difference is the HDMI or not the HDMI.
It's
the
PSVR, the PlayStation.
It's using the PlayStation Move.
Yeah.
As well. For extra sensors, so that's probably it. Why? But still, that's kind of. That's a lot.
There's a lot more connections.
There's going to be a lot of cables hanging out of your head with the Oculus Rift.
Absolutely, yeah.
Just
Yeah.
because it's not announced, I can say that there is a kind of a rumor with the price of the PlayStation VR.
Oh, I haven't heard anything. Go on. Yeah.
Okay, so I can't remember the exact name of the website because I didn't write it down, but hey, let's go with this. A Swiss retailer accidentally put up the price of the VR and took it down very, very quickly.
God, this happens all the time,
doesn't it?
Yeah,
so a Swiss retailer. So basically, they put up their price, and they put up two different prices. So, which I think means that it's not set in stone. But the price range, when you convert it to euro, so we can understand it, is between €478.
Yeah,
that's the highest, down as low as 358.
Yeah, I'd say they're...
Now, both prices you may notice cheaper than the Oculus Rift, which I think it has to be.
I don't think the PlayStation VR is going to be more expensive than a PlayStation console. I think it might be on par. I don't think it'll be more.
And one thing I really want to know, and it's not a huge thing because they don't cost too much, but will the PlayStation VR be more expensive when you have to buy the camera with it, the PlayStation Move camera?
Oh, there's going to be package deals and stuff. Yeah, I'd go out there and buy a camera now if you haven't done it already. It's kind of useless at the moment, but if you are planning on VR gaming, get the camera now before they start doing this package thing that is meant to be giving you a deal, but probably isn't. To avoid that at all costs. So that's kind of basically it. I guess what you can take from the hardware side of things is, at the moment, it's much of a muchness. From what we know, there isn't much of a difference between Oculus Rift and the PlayStation VR. I guess we'll review once we get our hands on one of them.
Well, I don't think we're ever going to get our hands on an Oculus Rift.
No, but Mikey might.
Oh, that's right. Good old Mikey.
In his PC land he lives in. He might. Yeah.
PC Master Race.
We could gently suggest to him that he get one, and then...
If by gently suggest we mean, Mikey, we know you're listening, get one so we can compare fairly.
And none of your articles are going on the website again.
Until you do. And no, we will not fund it.
So can I talk about games
Yes,
now?
let's talk about games.
Okay, let's talk about games. Some of these games we know very little about, so I'm just going to briefly mention them, give you a little idea of what they are, and that's as much as I know, and some of them I'll go into a little bit more detail. So Battlezone is coming out for... This is all PlayStation VR. No, think tanks and think polygons. You're kind of going around, you're in a tank and you're blowing up other things. And
I've seen this.
It's very colourful and it's very kind of pixelated and
games style, visual style.
Very much so. It's kind of like, I don't know, like the Lawnmower Man type thing, but then you're blowing up stuff and it's like going everywhere. It's very strange.
You describe it so eloquently.
Yeah, it looks a bit mad. I don't think I'll be buying it at all, but it's just kind of, it is showing off some of the capabilities of VR.
Okay.
There's another thing called Golem, which I've seen very little of. I've only seen a teaser video of it. Haven't even seen any gameplay yet, but it looks intriguing. What you're doing in the game is you're controlling these golems, and it's not just one golem, because it looks like it's one golem, but when I actually read the description underneath, you're actually controlling more than one, but you're physically walking around and it's kind of like Shadow of the Colossus, sort of, except you are the Colossus and you're kind of moving things out of your way with your arms and stuff like that. But so far,
for
it's
those you're going to need the move controllers, paddles, whatever they're called.
Yes, you will, but it's a strange thing, because from the video, you would look at it and you would think, okay, I'm just a person and I'm just controlling one golem. But when you get into it and you actually read what these guys are saying, they had a hard time actually making the trailer, and they were trying to somehow convey that you are playing as a little girl who is playing a game, and this girl can control multiple golems. It's not just the one.
VVR.
It's VVR. VVR. You are controlling an avatar who has her own avatars.
Oh god.
So it's very strange, but it looks interesting. I'd definitely check out that video on our website as well. That's going to be cool. Now, something I'm genuinely excited about is the kitchen. And I'm excited about it, and I kind of feel bad that I'm excited about it because I haven't actually seen any footage of it, because no one has, unless you're a dev. But what they have released are videos of people actually playing the game, and I've never seen people more afraid in my life without seeing their faces fully. They're just cringing and they're moving around the place and they look so uncomfortable, and they always come out and say it was an amazing experience afterwards. But basically, let me set the scene. The kitchen is, you wake up and you're sitting on a chair, which, you know, you're going to be sitting in a chair if you're playing PlayStation VR anyway, so it's kind of helping the realism. So you're looking around, you're like, Jesus, things are a bit blurry. You're looking around and you see, oh, my hands are tied. Why are my hands tied? And I'm in the kitchen. You're looking around, and then there's someone kind of crawling towards you, and trying tugging at your bonds, trying to get you free. And then some crazy woman comes by and stabs him, and then gets all up in your face and starts shouting at you.
Right.
And basically, from what I can gather from it, you're in the middle of like a hostage situation with a serial killer, and you're in the room strapped to the chair. Looks so exciting.
It seems like horror games are going to be the real staple of VR at the start.
Well, yeah, but if you think about it, it's probably the most easy to do with the largest payoff.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like, it's very easy to suck people in, because you can have, like I was saying, the noise behind you, the person turns, they literally turn around.
Yeah.
And then when they turn back, there's the crazy woman, or the little girl, or the giant teddy bear, whatever it is.
It's just tailor-made for, like, you'd be walking down a corridor and you hear a growl or something, or even a gust of wind.
No thanks. But
just
also,
slightly behind you, and you have to do that thing, you know, when you're scared and you want to look around, but you're, you know, oh, this VR is going to be amazing for that, and you just kind of look around and you go, oh, she is there, I'm not going to look back again. You're like, oh.
Do you ever do that thing? Do you ever do that thing to yourself when you were a kid, where...
Hold on, where's this going to go?
No, hey! Let's not drag it down.
Fran's not here. I know Fran's not here. Someone's got to do it.
No, it's like, wait, his character is still here. Anyway, that thing where you're like outside in the dark, and you suddenly get this, what if something's behind me? Oh God, what if something's behind me? And then you decide, right, I'm just going to run back to the house.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure I'm not the only one. I used to do it whenever I had to go down and put in the dogs down in the bar. I just like go down, and then I'd start slowly walking up, and they'd be like, there's something behind me. And then I'd just start sprinting to the front door. My parents used to always be like, why are you breathing heavily when you just went down to put in the dogs? But they never understood. But anyway.
Incidentally, how old were you when this happened?
26.
Oh God, I was going to say, well, at least it hasn't happened, like, you know, since my mid-teens, but okay.
Mid-teens?
Mid-teens.
Oh dear.
Mid-teens. You grow up fast in the city.
Yeah.
Dead Secret is another game that's coming out.
Okay.
That, haven't seen a whole load of it, but what basically is, it's a murder mystery in a house. You're going around. I think there's been a lot of murders in this house, and I think you're the new resident of this house. You're walking around and you're reading notes left by them, diary entries left by them.
Vaguely reminds me of that horror film with Ethan Hawke.
Yes, it's a bit like Sinister.
Sinister. I kept thinking Insidious, but Sinister.
It's a bit like Sinister, but more of a mystery. So you're actually going around trying to find out who these people were, and it's kind of cool. Yeah, it looks really interesting. But that's as much as I know about that one. But it does look good. I
think those kind of games where you need to explore a lot are going to be the bread and butter of all VR.
That's what it's about, isn't it?
Or RPG or first person shooter. They're all going to be really important. Exploration is going to be the key element to all of them.
Absolutely, it has to be.
Yeah, no, it has to be. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's the thing that's kind of holding games back at the minute. Is you can't really fully explore and traverse the world. It's like, yeah, you can. There's a lot of games where you can.
There's a lot of sandbox style games.
Yeah, but what I mean is the VR element is going to just blow that up so much.
I think it's just going to be putting the adventure back into games.
Yeah.
Definitely. Like you actually feel like you're going to be on these experiences. I can't wait for it. Res Infinite is another game that's coming out.
I heard talks of this, but I didn't get to see any videos.
It looks really. I seen the video of it, and it's really confusing. It's calling itself a music/shooter game. It looks really, really weird.
Actually,
and
some sort of like dummy thing
it.
Flying through a tunnel.
Yes,
I did see a video.
Yes, it is a dummy thing, and it's very much like it's on strings, and you kind of can control it like a puppet master. And it looks a little bit like Dreams that's coming out, that game as well, sort of with a more sort of Battlezone type look. Like think the polygons and the lots of colors, and not a lot of realism, but it's very strange looking.
One thing that intrigues me about it though it's one of the very, very few games that are being shown and demoed at the minute that isn't first-person view.
It's third-person view,
which is I don't know. I can't make my mind up. Is that going to work or not? Because I'll get to it. Well, no, I'll talk about it now. I played on Google Cardboard. I played a game where you control this kind of little bumblebee firefly character, and you have to go through a maze, and you control them by like looking where you wanted them to fly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
But as I was playing, I was kind of like, right, okay, yeah, I'm having fun. That's fine. But why is this better than just using a controller? Now, obviously, of course, you're still enjoying it, but the 360 and the looking behind you and up above you and below you, that's the selling point. So why have a third-person view if... Can you do that? I mean, does turning around looking behind you make the character turn around and start flying the other direction? Yeah,
it's interesting. I think it's kind of boils down to a few things. I think it's going to be an adjustment for everybody anyway, playing VR. The way we're playing games at the moment is going to be vastly different to how we're playing VR, just with looking around and also maybe using a controller and maybe using those motion things in your hands. And kind of on top of that then, I think... Yeah, I actually can't remember what my second point was.
That's alright.
It's just going to be...
We'll edit it in.
A very strange experience. I think it's going to take a lot of... But with the third person, I think that's preference. I think... Because I know from me just talking to Mikey, if he's playing the Elder Scrolls or Skyrim or Oblivion or anything like that...
He's not going to be playing Skyrim, that's too new.
It's too new for him. Actually, he is playing... God, what is he playing now? He is playing... Oblivion with all the mods in it, but it joins in Morrowind. It's called like More Oblivion or something like that. Anyway, he's playing that, but he always plays the game in first person, and I only use first person in those games if I'm shooting a bow and arrow or something, or if I really need to look at something. I like seeing my character, and I personally don't have a problem with 3D being third person, but it'll be interesting to see does it actually work out. I think it might boil down to which you prefer. Maybe there's games where you can just turn it on and off.
Yeah.
Like in Skyrim. If you don't want to play Skyrim in third person, you don't have to. You can play it in first person.
Or even that's all the Elder Scrolls games.
Yeah, it's kind of a main staple of the whole thing, which is great. But hopefully that translates into a few more games, because some people just don't like first person. It kind of jars me.
Yeah.
For a lot of games.
I think for me it depends on the game. I mean, for some games it makes total sense. Like The Witness... or Firewatch, or like even PT. Yeah, I mean those are games where the first person element of it enhances the game.
Yes, yeah.
But then there's other games, and as well, like obviously any first person shooters. I mean, it's a whole genre where it's first person.
Oh yeah.
You know, so I think it depends on the game.
Yeah, I don't think anyone wants to play Halo in third person.
No, and to be honest, I don't like playing Elder Scrolls online. Ever first person. I need to see my character. Like, I've spent all this time crafting this armor. I'm going to have a look at it when I'm playing. I'm to look at how pretty my dark elf looks in his green robe, you know.
Absolutely. So I'll move on. There's another game, London Heist. Now this one looks exciting. I've seen a lot of this game.
Yeah, I know this one.
It looks really good. Basically you're some sort of criminal in the game, and they've shown off kind of 3 different aspects of the game, which is going to be kind of the main staples of it. The first thing is safe cracking. So you are a thief and you will physically be cracking safes and things, and the game's kind of strange. It's in first person, but you can see the floating hands. Yeah. And there's a few of these games coming out that have the floaty hand.
I don't like the floating thing. I want that solid arm there.
Yeah, I feel the same way. If it was just attached to an arm, I'd feel so much better. But okay, I'm gonna go with it now because it's clearly what a lot of developers are doing, and maybe there's a reason for it. But anyway, you've got the floaty hand, and you're actually cracking safes, and I can kind of see T being very excited about these things.
Oh, definitely.
Physically cracking safes.
I've seen it, and it was the first thing I said. I was like, oh wait, yeah.
He's gonna absolutely love it. So then after that, I've seen if you get caught, possibly, or you're in the middle of your heist, there's a shooter kind of thing. So what they've shown in their game footage is there's literally... You're in behind like a cabinet type thing or a chest of drawers, and
it's like an old-fashioned writing desk.
Kind of, yeah. That's probably a better way of putting it. It's a big writing desk thing, and you're shooting at people who are trying to get at you, but you're running out of bullets. And you're like, damn, I got to find more bullets, and like you're opening up drawers and you're picking out bullets that happen to be in the drawers, and you're refilling your gun, you're reloading.
What's wrong with you?
It's late. We're reloading and then you're firing again. It looks amazing. And then the last thing I've seen is a car chase segment. So
I didn't see that.
There's a car chase one a bit, and so you get into your getaway car. This probably all could have led into each other as one video. But you get into your car, in the getaway car, and you're driving away. Think the Matrix Reloaded, and you're in the passenger seat while your getaway driver is driving, and you're trying to shoot the enemies that are coming towards you and trying to get at their wheels and whatever to stop them from
What
driving.
I really like
exciting
about the notion of a first-person shooter in using VR is that it's not going to be this fiddly thing where I'm used to the controller being a little bit less sensitive or more sensitive than this, and learning the speed at which you can turn. It's going to you're going to physically be aiming yourself.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be brilliant, because then you're going to have the people who might have better normal human reflexes will actually suddenly become good at first-person shooter games. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's going to be strange. Like, what I can't figure out in my tiny head at the moment is, you know, the right analog stick?
Yeah.
And we use the right analog stick to look around.
Yeah.
But now with VR, we're going to be using our heads to look around. So is it going to be that I still need to use the right analog stick to actually turn? Or is it going to be that the right analog stick is redundant and my head turning actually turns my character?
I think it'll depend on the game. I would say that it needs... You use the right analog stick. Like, your head replaces the right analog stick.
Yeah, it's just interesting.
But, like, and then in other games, it's... Yeah, then in other games there's going to be different things as well. Like, I mean, maybe you have to use the right analog stick to turn the dial on the safe.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah. It's just interesting. I was kind of thinking about that the other day. Like, is there a game where it's going to be, no, if you turn your head, you can see sideways, but your character is still facing front because you haven't used the right analog stick. So you could be like, I don't know. It's going to be confusing anyway. But that's London Heist. It looks very exciting. I think I'm going to get that one. It looks very cool. Besides the floaty hands, which I think I'll get used to.
I think that's something though. That's we're going to get used to that, or the developers are going to realize people aren't liking this and they're going to stop doing it.
Yeah,
I think that's just a feature of the early days thing, and it'll improve.
Well, time will tell.
Time shall tell.
Time will tell. I have another game called Rigs.
Okay.
Rigs looks like it's for, if you're a Call of Duty fan or a Halo fan, Rigs might be the game for you. You're in giant mechs, so giant human piloted suits. It's very fast. You're going around the place, you're shooting each other, destroying each other, but it's a sports game. I can see EA being all over this. The point of the game is you have a team of, let's say, 4. You're going around, you're trying to shoot the other team and destroy them, but you're also trying to get your mech into an end zone to score a point.
Okay.
And what they're really plugging right now is competition. So there's going to be online competitions for these things. There's going to be leagues, and people are going to get very kind of into this. I don't know how professional they're going to get with this. Like, I know there's always been an element of betting and stuff in professional gaming. I think this one could turn into a mainstream type thing, like, a sports channel like you can nearly pick this up. That's kind of the way it's going, I think.
Okay, all right.
Which looks interesting. There's Paranormal Activity VR coming out. I don't know much about it, but I'm excited that it exists.
Okay.
There's Until Dawn Rush of Blood, which the Until Dawn name has a lot of street cred, but it is set in a roller coaster, so I'm a bit nervous about that.
Yeah. I know you
weird.
like I've watched a kind of a very short, like 30-second demo of it, and it looks nothing at all like Until Dawn. Well,
no, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Sorry,
it looks more like Saw.
Actually,
it looks like
very
Saw
like
in a roller coaster.
Yeah, it has that like strange Tim Burton-esque colory scheme that Saw sometimes has. The only reason, the only connection to Until Dawn, and for those, I'm not going to spoil anything for those who haven't played it yet. If you haven't played it, play it. It's a fantastic game, and I'm not going to spoil it for you either. But the main thing that you're worried about in the game, features quite heavily in Rush of Blood.
Okay,
and on top of that, then. Now, this isn't a spoiler because this is in the first hour of gameplay. You go in and out of the mines quite a lot. There's a lot of mines featured.
Okay,
Until Dawn. Yeah. So that's all I know, and that I can say anyway. So I'd say, look, I'm gonna give it a go when I get my PlayStation VR.
Yeah, I'll let you give it a go, and then I'll. It looks a bit gammy to me so far, but we'll see. Another game that I've only seen a teaser video of it, is Robinson, which is Swiss Family Robinson style with with robots.
And I was all excited.
Dinosaurs.
Oh, I'm excited again.
Okay.
I can't make up my mind.
The video is...
I thought this was... I thought Until Dawn was the game with the roller coaster.
Yeah, well, this game is... I think you are a child, and you also have a floaty ball type thing. Think the Destiny type floaty ball. He's bringing you around the place. And you're dodging through, like, this giant brontosaurus is walking by. He's leading you along, telling you when to move so you don't get crushed.
Okay.
And it's all kind of a game. And then you get through all of that, and, you know, it looks amazing, by the way. Like, it looks visually stunning. And imagine walking around with these dinosaurs everywhere. But then you get to this clearing where he was leading you, and then all of a sudden you hear this kind of growling in the distance and the general Jurassic Park stomp noise.
Oh no.
And then there's a giant like T-Rex type thing in the corner, and the guy turns around, the Destiny floaty ball thing, and he just goes, are you ready to play another game now, sir? And then his eye just turns and looks the other way. But I watched it the first time and I thought, oh, this looks cool, looks interesting. And then I watched it the second time, and I think it's going to be... this is the way I read into it anyway. It might be something to do with PTSD.
Oh.
I think this robot might be helping the child cope with being stuck in this place. Because he's making it a game to get through all these different parts.
Yeah.
And then you've got the big dinosaur, the scary dinosaur at the end. He goes, you ready to play a different game now, sir? And the robot, when he looks to the side, almost looks like he's nervous now for the child. It just looks unreal.
It sounds very
Or
interesting.
maybe I'm just really reading into it and making it sound a lot better than what it really is going to be. But even if it's not that, it's still a VR experience in a Jurassic Park-like world.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. What's really not calming me down? Can I help me out here? Comforting me? No.
Reassuring.
There it is. What's really reassuring me is that none of these games sound the exact same as one of the others.
No,
they're all very, very different. Now, they still all have obviously similar elements because it's all VR.
Yeah,
and they're all, and it's still new. So you know, the developers. What's going to happen is the games are going to come out. They're not going to be very samey, but there's going to be a sameness to them all.
Yeah, it's too early for tropes to have.
Yes, exactly. And then what's going to happen is they'll say, right, here's the standards. How can we shake them up?
Yeah.
And that's when VR is going to just rock everybody.
So we're saying the first year is everyone's beta.
I suppose, yeah.
Kind of in a way,
yeah. Because I think the important thing is the players' feedback.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be so crucial to how well it succeeds, because in my opinion it's going to succeed, but because the players' feedback is going to dictate what type of games are on their way then. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and that's what excites me.
It's so exciting.
Yes.
So those are all the pure bloods coming out for pure bloods coming out.
Spot
for
the
PS4.
Harry Potter nerd.
I have a list now coming out for PS4, and these are the mudbloods. These are the games that are coming out. You don't have to have VR for them, but they will have VR support. So
VR enabled then.
VR enabled. So there's Final Fantasy,
but they can perform magic.
Absolute. Oh god, that will rock the wizarding world. We've got Final Fantasy 14 Heaven's Ward. So this is a subscription-based MMORPG, which I'm very, very, very angry about that it's subscription based and I can't play it because I'm cheap. But there is VR support coming out for that. Tekken 7 has been delayed so that they can add.
That confuses me. How? Like, because it depends on how the controller works. And all that kind of thing.
But it's enabled. It's only going to be a mode.
Yeah.
So you can play the normal story mode. You can play the arcade normal, but there will be a VR mode where you go in and you're facing the opponent and you're physically hitting them as opposed to controlling a character.
It's going to be interesting.
We're going to buy it anyway.
Yeah,
we're going to try it out. No Man's Sky is coming with VR support. I've actually seen the devs using. I think Oculus Rift sent them some stuff, early concepts of the Oculus Rift.
Oculus Rift sent No Man's Sky.
Yeah, Hello Games. They sent Hello Games. Early kits for the Oculus Rift, and they were testing them out, and there's some very funny videos actually of them trying them out. It's very funny, and it is coming to PlayStation VR now, possibly also coming to Xbox, but that's another conversation. Then there's Ark Survival Evolved, which looks very exciting, again set in a prehistoric time. It's first person or third person, I think. Kind of similar to kind of Elder Scrolls type of game. But from what I've seen of it, and I know my brother was involved in the beta, you are in prehistoric times and you're taming wild animals. And then at some point in the game, like, as you know, you capture your velociraptors, you ride them, the same with your T-Rexes, but then it brings in griffins into it, and there's griffins and there's dragons.
I love how the griffins and the dragons made it seem unrealistic.
I know.
It's like not the humans and dinosaurs coexisting, but anyway.
No. But
they didn't.
When have you ever seen dinosaurs and dragons and possibly unicorns in the same thing? It's a bit strange.
I feel like I may have. I can't name anything, but I feel like I may have. I don't know. Anyway, that's
okay. That's everything that's coming out for just PS4. So will I let you take over for a little bit now?
I would like to tell our listener about Google Cardboard a little bit.
Yay!
Because it is fascinating. Because we're after talking a lot there about games.
Yeah.
VR is going to be a lot more than games. Now, obviously, PlayStation VR isn't going to be so much, but other VR is. So, first of all, Google Cardboard, and the way it works is it's a free app, which is brilliant. The majority of the apps are free, and the main Cardboard app itself is free.
Yeah. Free is good.
Free is always good. Free is always good. The only thing is you do need to buy the headset. They have to make their money somehow. But what's great is you can buy them directly from the website, or you can go to any shop and buy them.
Yeah.
You can even actually download the instructions and try to make them yourself. Now, I wouldn't do that unless you have a lot of patience, a lot of time, because they're quite complicated. I mean, when I bought the Cardboard headset that I have, it did take me a good few minutes to fold it the proper way and assemble it correctly. Knowing,
oh yeah, it's goddamn cardboard. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
it's cardboard.
It's not comfortable.
No, it's
no way, shape, or form is that comfortable.
But I mean, like, it's less than €30. It's not going to be comfortable. It's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be cheap. It's supposed to be accessible for everybody. So it was unveiled only last year. It supports larger phones with screens up to 6 inches.
Okay.
So your iPhone 4S probably won't work, but your iPhone 6 will, and most Android phones will. Most Android phones are quite large anyway.
It fits my Sony.
It fits your Sony. It fits my
That's
Sony.
That's all I care about.
Sony.
Yay.
So the welcome video, just blew my mind. Like I was saying earlier, the gorilla, I didn't know was there. There's another scene where you're underwater. There's another scene where you're up on top of a really high mountain. There's an animated, like, computer kind of style, kind of similar graphics to Battlezone.
Okay, yeah.
Right, that kind of
polygons,
really polygony, but kind of sweet and charming at the same time.
Yeah.
Of a little fireplace. It's just brilliant. And what I loved is it showed you all the different possibilities.
Yeah.
In that welcome video.
Do you know what I just thought of?
What have you just thought of?
I'm pretty sure they're going to start doing, like, virtual tours of places now.
Wait,
so you're underwater, but you're the Titanic?
And spoiled everything I was going to say.
Oh.
Yeah. Thanks for that. So anyway, when you swipe over and leave the welcome video, there's a thing that says virtual tour guide. I wonder what that is. They've thought of this.
Are you touring the pyramids or the Titanic?
It's not the pyramids. Or... This particular thing was the Palace at Marseille in France.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And it was.
So lots of snooty artwork, but it'd be cool anyway. But...
Yes and no. Yeah. It's more than that. I mean, okay, so you start off and you're outside, and there is a tour guide voice speaking, and she's like, welcome to the Palace of Marseille. It was built by this king, blah blah blah. And you now. Sorry, I better explain this. The way you interact with it, there's two main ways.
Yeah.
One is the more expensive models of it. By the way, I should have said it's called Google Cardboard because it can be made from cardboard and can be very basic.
Yeah.
But there are ones that are made out of plastic and are made out of hard, heavy materials that are far more durable. So if you want to splash out a little bit, that's fine. Bearing in mind though, it is operating off your phone, so you know. Do you have to use cardboard? It's like if you're into VR at all, this is fine. This will keep you ticking over, and it'll keep the kind of people, maybe the geeks who are listening to this and thinking, "Oh, this sounds really interesting," but are more inclined to maybe they wouldn't spend a lot of time.
I think you can use it as a stepping stone. You can say, "I'm going to try this out now. It's free. What's this VR crack about?" And you're like, "Oh wow, this is very cheap, and look how good this is."
Exactly.
What is the PS4 going to be like?
Exactly. Yeah. So, like, I'll put up a link to the Google Cardboard website so you can kind of browse and look at all the different headsets there are, because they are some of them are pretty cool. But anyway, so there's two ways you can interact with your with the app. There's on some of them there's a magnetic switch on the side, and it basically I don't know how the mechanics of how that works in the hardware, but basically it's just a metal ring. You slide it over the magnet and over the magnet again, just to make a kind of a pulse, and then that basically taps the screen for you. The other way is there's a hole in my one where you reach up and you tap the screen.
Oh, that's so annoying.
It's very particularly. It's not very professional, because
you can't tell where I was going to sound terrible and Fran isn't here, but you can't tell where the hole is when you have the thing on and you're trying to. Yeah, you know, his face has gone down now, and okay, yeah.
I'm just what I'm doing is when Fran gets back and listens to this, I was just giving him time to make the joke he would have made if he was here.
But besides the obvious innuendo there, that is actually a difficult thing to use.
It is an issue. Yeah. Now you get used to it fairly quickly. It doesn't break the experience really for me at all. Anyway, so I started off outside the Palace of Marseille. I was told a little bit about the history and why it was built and where roughly in France it is. I tapped to go to the next, and then all of a sudden I'm in the king's bedroom. Oh. And you're actually standing at the foot of the bed.
How big's the bed? How big is it?
It's quite big. Now he only slept there because the Queen slept in a different room. Because that was the done thing back then.
Yeah. And you send her back to her own room afterwards.
But no, it was just brilliant. Even the fact that obviously virtual reality will never beat the experience of actually being there.
Oh no,
no. But it was brilliant because you could see. I was just fascinated at the detail in the bed frame and looking at the tiny little things. Now, one thing is, it just showed you how immersive the experience was. I actually took a step forward the first time I did it. I took a few steps forward to look closer at something.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. Does it actually?
No, it doesn't. It keeps it it can't, because the way they take the imagery, for you to be able to move around, they'd have to take it from every single vantage
point.
point.
It's kind of a constant panoramic view is what you're kind of getting, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's far more than panoramic, because you look up, you look down. Panoramic, you're used to one big long image.
But this is like, it's a sphere.
It's
everywhere.
A sphere. You're inside a sphere.
Yeah.
So then you're asked, okay, now we're going to take you and move you over to look at the painting over the fireplace, and you tap and you're there and you learn some more. But what was really cool was there's a part of the Palace of Marseille is called the Hall of Mirrors.
Okay.
And it's just a big ballroom or dance room.
It has lots of mirrors in it.
It has a whole lot of mirrors all down one side, which was a sign of wealth in the 1600s or whenever it was
built.
And
a good way of spotting vampires.
A great way of spotting vampires, as Dracula Dead and Loving It taught us.
Exactly.
I don't know why I knew you were thinking of that, but I knew you were thinking of it. I love that film.
Great film.
Anyway, but it was just, what was really cool is you got to see the reflection of the machine that took the imagery in it. Oh. And it was just kind of nice, because that was one of the first things I thought was, I'd love to see the machine that did this. It's essentially the camera on top of a car for a Google Street View.
Okay,
It's just lots of cameras that are tied together in a certain way, so that all the images can overlap perfectly.
Yeah.
So that was one thing that really excited me. And I just mentioned the other one that also really excited me with Google Cardboard, Street View.
Oh my god.
Oh yes.
Times Square is going to get a lot of...
Oh no. I just
love flying.
No, you can go on Google Earth. It's amazing. So you go in, and the first thing you notice is you're standing still. You're plonked somewhere randomly on the world. Now, it's not totally random. It'll be somewhere of interest, of note.
Yeah.
A particular canyon or river or mountain.
Yeah.
And you're looking around and you're like, wow, this is amazing. And then I was like, hang on, how do I move? And then I tap the screen. So when you tap the screen, you just start moving in whichever direction you're looking.
Yeah, the way Street View actually works. But
but solidly and constantly. It's not like one... You know the way when you're on Google Street View, you click and it kind of jumps forward one frame.
Yeah.
This, it moves solidly, so it's like you're flying.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's so much fun. And basically I then I looked up, because that's the thing that first thing I do in every situation in VR, I looked up. So I look up and then it says fly to space ?
Yes.
Like, yes please. So I tap the screen, up I go, and then I'm looking down at the globe, and it's brilliant. So
and you are Superman.
You are Superman essentially, and it's brilliant. It's just brilliant. I spent, out of everything I tried out in Google Cardboard, that's the thing I spent the most time at doing.
I'm starting to wonder why we're still doing this podcast.
Well,
pause now.
Pause now. It's just brilliant, and I strongly recommend anyone get it. The last little feature I want to mention about Google Cardboard is something that you, if you're listening on your phone right now, dear listener, you can actually do this right now. Go to YouTube, search for the video called 360 videos. the channel. Sorry, search for the channel called 360 Videos, and they are exactly what it says in the tin.
Okay.
And this is actually how I discovered Google Cardboard. It was through an ad for Clash of Clans.
Oh,
and I noticed, and it was called,
a great ad.
It was a great ad. So it was called a 360 view. So essentially, you start off and you have to watch it on a phone or on a tablet that has a motion sensor. So basically, you tap a little image to say, yeah, activate the 360 element, and then as the video is playing, you can constantly be looking around. So it's the video format of what I was saying with the Palace of Marseille, and it's fascinating. It's so much fun. I watched that one ad maybe 5 or 6 times, one straight after the other, because I wanted to see what I missed. Remember I was saying about the gorilla? So imagine if the gorilla was climbing around.
Oh god. Yeah.
And now imagine. Remember I said then when the gorilla was behind me and there was people across from me.
Yeah.
Like the people, imagine if they were doing something as well. So you can't watch everything at once. So that's why it's really fascinating. Some highlights include there was an 8-minute long video where you were sitting on the pilot's lap of a jet fighter plane.
Sorry, the pilot's lap.
Well, that's where the camera was, and it's brilliant. You look behind you, and you're like, "Oh my god, there's the pilot!" And then you look up, and you're like, "Oh, there's more planes!" And then you start.
Who are you,
around.
the slutty stewardess?
Apparently so. It's a jet fighter. There's not much room.
What game are you playing?
What game are you not playing? Is the question you should be asking.
On the pilot's lap.
Another one was an underwater video where it was a great white shark comes right up to you and it explains how sharks work, and it starts off and it just shows you the complexity of VR. It starts off and you hear a voice saying, "Can you find the fish? Follow them." And you're looking and going, where's the fish? Where's the fish? And then you find them and they swim right past you.
Yeah,
and then
I know it's
they swim away and then she goes, "Now look at where the fish came from," or something like that. And you look and there was a shark chasing them and he goes right up to you. And it's very intimidating. And it's very like, whoa, it's right there.
God, that's going to be brilliant because I always wanted to go in a shark cage.
Yeah, it's essentially a shark
and
cage.
now I can
video.
do it without the actual
and
thread of the
animated,
shark.
but it's not. You wouldn't know. The only thing that tweaked me going, "Oh, this is purely animated," was when the shark went invisible and you could see the organs and the skeleton and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so it is, the animation is really good. I haven't looked at every video on the 360 thing because I can't, because there's so many there. So many. Finally, and very briefly, I'm going to mention that everything I've said so far is all viewable through the actual Cardboard app itself.
Yeah. But
there are a whole load of apps that are Cardboard enabled.
Yes.
But they're not. There's far more. So I just have the Google Play Store here, and I'm just going to name a few. There's a Star Wars app. Now, I tried that and it didn't really impress me. It's just kind of one little short video, and it doesn't really take.
What are you seeing? Sell it. Come on, sell it.
Okay, I'm not selling it because I don't think it's worth selling, to be honest. I think it's something that will.
Tell me what it is. It's Star Wars.
I will give it time. So basically, you start off up in space. And then it fades out and you're just watching one ship fight another. But what bothered me about it was, I was like, oh, wow. I look up, there's nothing happening. I look down, there's a planet. I look behind me, there's nothing happening. I was kind of like, oh. You know, so they
so you're just seeing one kind of...
Now, it's still a 360 view, but it's just, as I was saying, there was nothing... I wasn't missing
And what are you
anything.
seeing? Is it a TIE fighter? And
I can't remember.
Okay,
I did it once, that shows you how good it was.
Yeah.
There was a little bit where BB... And then you end up on... I'm assuming it's Jakku. It could have been Tatooine or any desert planet, but BB-8 comes rolling up to you and does a little bit of noise and whistles and then rolls off, and then that's it.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, that's cute. But when BB-8 rolled up to me again, I was like, oh wow, what's happening behind me? Nothing. Interestingly though, I have it still on my phone. I got a few updates saying, oh, episode 8 has started filming. So I'm going to keep it because it looks like it might be an app that's more to do with Star Wars than to do with VR.
And maybe they'll add stuff too.
I'm just going to name some because I haven't looked at all these. New York Times has a VR app, and it's actually called New York Times NYT VR. So I'm going to look at that and see what it's like.
What's that going to be like? This has just happened.
Idea.
Now you can be in the middle.
No
of
idea.
It. Like,
you know as much as I do. It's
my mind is kind of racing, and I'm thinking things maybe I shouldn't be thinking, but.
Oh god, don't do that.
But like I know, think of like 9/11 type thing. Like there's news happening, it's that big. Do they put you there? Like
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Oh god. Okay.
I'm sure they're gonna do it. I'm sure it's gonna be interesting. But it's just I'll look into it.
Okay.
Insidious. Chapter 3. There was I only just found this before we started recording. I looked into it. So basically, it's you're taken on a tour of the further by
oh my god,
by the actress herself.
Oh my god, I'm freaked out already.
I know. I'm gonna
oh my
download
god.
this and try it out later. It looks like it could be very cool. It was actually released building up to Insidious Chapter 3.
Can we trick Fran into doing this?
Yes. Oh no! We'll have to do it before he hears this.
We'll edit this part out.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's fine.
We won't.
We won't, but we'll pretend we did. There's just loads. I'll just name out names now. We're not even going into anything. We have Snow Strike VR, Halloween Ride VR, Hidden Temple, which kind of looks like a Temple Run type thing.
Oh! It does look like Temple Run.
It does, doesn't it? Temple Run, Lamper. That's the fly thing I was telling you about. It's a firefly.
Hold on. There's Duck Pond VR. There's some
Duck
sort of
Pond.
duck that is on bread.
It's just look. Just get Google Cardboard. Even most of these apps are free, which is amazing. Like check out these apps and just see what they're like. But my favorite app out of all it's two favorite apps. Mm-hmm. One I have, one I don't, because it costs money and I don't have. I'm not buying apps.
And we are cheap. Okay.
And we are cheap. The one that costs money, I'll go first. Is Drunken Goggles. So the VR. The VR has a hole on the front of it for the camera of your phone, right?
Yeah, it does.
And I was thinking, this is a bit silly. Why would you want this? Just get drunk. It's fine.
Yeah.
But what made me excited was that basically it does a live feed of whatever the camera can see, but it blurs it and makes it all wonky so that it's like you're drunk.
Okay.
I was thinking, why would you want that? Could be interesting for people who never get drunk to see what it's like.
Yeah.
Maybe. Or it might not be. But then someone in the review just left a 5-star review saying best game of tag ever.
Tag. Oh my god.
Can you imagine that? I know, my mind instantly went to the geeks in the closet all
Phoenix
having
Park.
a VR in Phoenix Park trying to catch each other, and people looking at us going, what is wrong with these people?
Well, they do that anyway. But...
I know, yeah. But so that, I think that's hilarious. And again, it kind of just shows the possibilities of VR without that, like, it's the imagination is going to be the only limit, I think. And the last thing is the Cardboard camera. It's called now. It's called Cardboard because it's linked to Google Cardboard.
Yes.
I showed you some of this today.
Yeah.
So basically,
it's very cool.
It's very, very cool.
Yeah.
So you mentioned panoramic photos, right?
Yes.
So it's that, but it does a 360. It doesn't do a full 360. You can't go up and down and kind of get your feet and get the sky. You still have to go around in a 360 arc.
Yeah.
But what is very impressive about it is that it can record a little soundbite with it, with the photo you're taking. So while you're looking around, you can still look up, and if we'll say the top of most of the picture was blue, like it was on the Giants Causeway pictures I was showing you, like it creates this blue haze. It's not part of the picture, but it still kind of feels like it could be.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It still feels like the sky is there, but it was amazing because it recorded a little soundbite and it loops that soundbite constantly, no matter how long you're watching it.
Connor, can you send these to other people?
That I don't know,
because I'm just thinking now that as you're saying it, because you had a good experience up the Giants Causeway and you could have the sounds of the crashing waves and all that, but there are these nut jobs that go chasing tornadoes and storms.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine if they sent you one of those and you could actually kind of see what it's like to be almost in the middle of a tornado and the rain and thunder and,
the wind.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's the thing. This is the thing. I mean, in an interesting way, I think Google are the people to watch for VR because their main focus doesn't seem to be perfecting the hardware. It seems to be perfecting the experience, which I think is more important. Like VR and Oculus Rift, we talked about the prices of them.
Yeah.
You're not going to buy this on a whim.
No.
You're going to save up for it, or you're going to, work hard to earn the money to get it.
Absolutely, yeah.
But, I mean, this is all free. And as I said, you don't even need the headset for the 360 videos on YouTube.
No, you don't.
You just need a phone.
Yeah, and maybe a tea towel. Wrap it over your head. Basically all you need. Stick it there.
I didn't know where you were going with that.
All the Google Cardboard thing is something to hold your phone really well.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, that's all.
Well, no, because if you go into the more complex things, it actually splits the screen in two.
So could I just use two toilet rolls and could we DIY
No, because there's lenses in the headsets that are convex lenses to make it more 3D.
Okay.
No, the 360 videos on YouTube though, if you're looking on your phone, it'll just show it'll just be a flat image. But if you tap the icon that shows you have a headset, it'll turn it into the two side by side images.
I'm gonna have T work on this.
Yeah,
I'm seeing something with toilet roll, duct tape, and some
bits
sort of
plastic for lenses.
Maybe old glasses that he has or
something. Yeah. So yeah, no, I'm excited about Google Cardboard.
Hey.
As I said, PlayStation VR and Oculus Rift are going to be for the hardcore fans.
Yeah.
But more importantly, Google Cardboard is what you take out when you're at home for Christmas and you're like, look at this is amazing.
And everyone gathers around.
And it's just a family fun.
Oh my god, there's going to be those pictures taken for like Christmas portraits. It's going to be the whole Christmas experience.
Oh yeah, that's brilliant.
Oh,
and you have the sound of the fire.
Yes, the crackling fire, the kids laughing at the tree, and like,
That's
oh
cool.
god, actually, it's going to be so corny.
Oh, and yet it's going to be brilliant.
Heartwarming at the same time.
Right, so
Will I fly on with Oculus Rift?
Fly on.
I have less things for Oculus Rift because I'm biased, but I found a few of the things that I think are notable or noteworthy.
Bearing in mind, Oculus Rift is an accessory to a PC. So
Yes.
it's still going to have the backlog of all the PC games.
Yeah, Steam. All those Steam boys are going to
Any game that's ever come out in PC will still be there.
Yeah. Those dastards. Okay. For Oculus Rift, and these are just the pure bloods, I do have a list of 4 or 5 things that are coming out for PS4 and Oculus, but this is purely Oculus.
Remind me when you're done of Who's the Daddy.
Who's your daddy?
Exactly.
Okay. Edge of Nowhere is a third-person Arctic adventure game. It's made by Insomniac Games, and if you don't know them, they're Ratchet and Clank and Sunset Overdrive. Mm-hmm. They've been doing badly lately. They need a win. But this looks like...
Did they also do Medieval?
Pretty good. I don't think so. Possibly. I'd need to Google that.
Your voice went really high.
It went really high. That's my voice where I'm not sure. So you're in the Arctic. You're an explorer. It's third person. You're running around the place. There's ice falling. You've got to jump. You've got to grab ledges. You've got to get up. You've got your pickaxe. Mm-hmm. It looks amazing. It looks bloody beautiful. You literally are in the Arctic. It looks amazing, especially when you're on a ledge and it starts cracking and the ice just falls away. And oh my god, it looks amazing. Those views.
They did Spyro.
The Spyro?
Insomniac or Spyro. I knew the name. Sorry. I was not listening the last few minutes.
You weren't at all, but anyway.
It's fine.
Beautiful game. You can climb a lot. There is some sort of a story element, but I didn't see too much of that. But all I've seen so far is you climb these ledges in the Arctic. It's really cool.
Okay.
On a similar vein, there's something called The Climb, and this game is the most beautiful thing I've seen. Besides the floaty hands. It's got floaty hands as well. But
because the floaty hands,
if you forget about the floaty hands, which are pretty high res floaty hands, let me say, but you're literally a rock climber.
Are they man's hands or a woman's hands?
Man's hands, I think.
So if you're a girl gamer, it's going to probably be a bit...
Let's not go there, Conor.
Let's pretend that girl gamers don't exist.
It is literally a game where you climb mountains. I'm not entirely sure if these are real mountains or not, or they're just making up ones. I don't know.
Could they be based on real ones, a la Street View? Like, could you actually be scaling Everest?
It's possible, but it's early days yet. All I've seen so far are the floaty hands and you physically grabbing ledges to lift yourself up. But when you actually look around the place, it's the most high resolution, beautiful sort of graphics I've seen. It looks amazing. There's another horror game coming out called Affected. It's styling its kind of whole thing as the horror game experience. Looks kind of creepy, but I've only seen kind of a promo video for it. Lots of woods, creepy child, haunted sort of shack.
Okay.
Very generic things, but it does look kind of scary.
Okay.
There's something called Lucky's Tale being released. It's a platformer. You are a little fox running around the place. Might be a good game for the kids if you're purchasing Oculus Rift. It's basically it, really. I think a throwback to Crash Bandicoot / Spyro.
Okay.
It's that kind of a thing. You're running around the place. You're this little fox. I've seen him using slingshot like things to open up doors and targets. It just looks like a bit of fun. Now the last game I'm actually excited about, and I'm kind of depressed it's only coming out for Oculus Rift. It's called Chronos.
Alright.
And as the name suggests, it has a lot to do with time.
Okay.
It's a Zelda style game. So you are this person who lives in this village, and this village has like a Zelda styled dungeon. And for some reason it's a rite of passage or something like that you must enter.
Alright.
It only enters at certain points in every 20 years it opens up or something like that. That's the only time you can go in. Your character wants to complete this dungeon, get to the end of this dungeon, get whatever you get from being at the end of this dungeon, but evidently you must fail or else something happens. I'm not entirely sure, because you visit that labyrinth as a young man like a 16-year-old to 20 something, and at that point you're young, you're youthful, you haven't a lot of skills, but what you do have is a lot of agility, a lot of pluck. You're able to dodge things, you're faster, things like that. You visit it again in middle age, and
okay,
it's the same dungeon, but now you're stronger. You can do things you couldn't do before. You're more experienced. You're kind of the best of what you can be, really, in terms of your knowledge and in terms of your physical prowess.
But you're probably not as quick as you were.
Not quite as quick as you were, but you're a little bit cleverer, a lot stronger. And then you must fail again, or else I don't know what game mechanic is going to come into this, or in terms of the storyline, but you end up there again as an old man. You're old, you're frail, you can't dodge anything, you can't lift up anything, but you've amassed a lot of knowledge about the labyrinth, and I think you acquire a lot of like magical knowledge and stuff like that as well, so you can utilize some of that.
Good, because I was going to say, if there was no magic,
how is he that useful? But it looks amazing.
Could be interesting. What if there's like some sort of grand mage or wizard or beast or something, or demon that can slow down, reverse, or speed up time, so that the player
becomes an old man,
man, and then reverts back to a young, and like maybe the player can do that. Maybe you can speed up time to become an old man because you're at a chunk in the labyrinth you need magic for, and then you go back a bit to become a middle-aged man to lift something.
Yeah, I mean, there could be a number of ways of doing that. I mean, you could be like in like a nexus of time type thing where you're with your future selves and you use them for different points, or I don't know what way they're going to, or maybe they will do it like
it's an interesting
you fail
idea,
and you have to go back into it. It just sounds so epic.
Yeah,
it looks really cool. That's the last pure blood of the Oculus Rift. The ones that took my interest. I've got a few others that are coming out for PS4 and Oculus. Will I go into those now, or do you want to say something else?
Yeah, just fly through them there.
I'll fly through them there. Okay. So coming out for PS4 and Oculus, you can have this no matter what your VR is you're picking. Eve Valkyrie is coming out. Won't be one for me really, but it'll excite a lot of people. It's your basic starship sort of exploration / blow up other spaceships type game. Not really my cup of tea, but it will excite a lot of people, and it looks really cool. I mean, you're flying in the ship, you're looking around, you can see the display. It's the closest thing you're going to get to being in a TIE fighter or something from Star Wars. It looks really cool. There's 100-foot robot golf.
What?
Exactly.
No, just say it again.
100-foot robot golf.
So okay, all right.
Basically,
I thought a robot that has 100 feet playing golf
and just keeps tripping over himself.
Like he doesn't know which direction to go. I mean, you've heard of omnidirectional. This is ridiculous.
Oh god, okay.
I'm ridiculous.
Take a sip of coffee there, buddy. 100-foot robot golf. It's a whimsical game. You're basically in.
I'm already buying it. It sounds great.
Giant robots. You're playing golf on real life golf courses. But there's also like
Can you imagine the golf balls are like giant globes and shit. Like there's statues and things.
But I seen one video, and I'm pretty sure he was teeing off on the moon, and he was aiming for Earth. So I don't know what he was trying to accomplish there, but it looks really funny. There's something coming out called the Assembly, which I need to find out more about it.
Okay.
Because it looks freaking amazing. Basically, you work in an underground facility. There's experiments going on. I gather that you're doing this for a good reason, but you're literally trapping people, bringing them in, experimenting on them. Some of them are social experiments. Some of them are you're actually physically changing them, sort of like genetic kind of experiments. You're physically fecking with these people. Basically, everything the Americans think that their government is doing to them, with all these conspiracy theories type things, this is what that game is. You're working in one of those facilities. Oof. And you're just messing with people on a whole load of different levels. But you work for this company, and basically you're kind of managing the company, but you also got to manage with all of the moral decisions you have to make. So I was just thinking,
it sounds like it morally kind of pull at you.
Yeah, but like from what I gather from it so far, you're doing horrible things, but I'm guessing there's a necessity. I'm guessing the reason we're doing this is because if we don't figure out how to achieve something, the whole world is screwed for some
Yeah.
reason. So you have to kind of manage, is it okay to mess with all these people and experiment with them, and how far are you prepared to go to...
And then you're probably thinking as well, like if it was real life, but as the player, they'd be thinking, okay, but is all the immoral, horrible things I'm doing, is it for the greater good? And will what I'm doing achieve something that we need to achieve?
Yeah. I just want to see how Fran plays it, really.
Oh, those poor people.
Those poor people.
Oh no!
It looks amazing. Anyway, I need to find out more about it. It looks,
the assembly.
out of everything, that's the one that intrigued me the most.
That sounds like it'd be a good game VR without, anyway. You know,
with or without, but the fact that you're actually in the facility would be quite cool. But I think you could play that without. Yeah, it looks really exciting. And the last thing I want to talk about is a game called Adrift, which, if you remember that movie from Sandra Bullock that came out, Gravity.
Oh, brilliant! Oh, brilliant game already.
Yeah, I can see your mind working already. Basically, this guy who is working on Adrift had been working on it for years, and then he found out about what movie Sandra Bullock was making, and he was like, but I'm making Well, anyway, I think he contacted them, and he was trying to kind of get some sort of association between the movie and whatever. Anyway, I don't know if any of that panned out, but this game is coming out anyway, and basically you are an astronaut trapped in space, and your spaceship or space station has malfunctioned, parts of it is blowing up. There's bits where you're actually floating in space trying to get stuff, and it looks so cool.
I hated watching that movie.
Oh yeah,
especially when they did Sandra Bullock's character's point of view, which is essentially this game. It was the first person view of an astronaut who was stranded and cut adrift, and it was suffocatingly terrifying.
Yeah,
you know, it was just this really closeness, and I suppose the fact that you are wearing, like I said earlier, VR is not going to be ever able to replace real life.
Oh no,
in our lifetime anyway.
No,
so you're going to have this feeling of something close to your face.
Yes.
So this game is going to work brilliantly on it, because
the helmet,
you have
you'll feel like you're confined.
You feel like it, and then of course if you're wearing proper headgear and headphones for it and sound cancelling, you're going to feel. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I know exactly.
The headset and the closeness of the screen to your eyes is going to feel like the glass of the oh god.
The only way you could do the game better is if you were in one of those wind chambers.
You're up
in the air and you're playing. It's the only other way you could do it. It looks really exciting. Again, there's something else here. I wrote it down and I wasn't going to say it, but I'm going to say it now.
Say it anyway. Go on.
It's something called Alt Space VR. I don't really know what it is. It's neither of the Oculus. It's not the Oculus Rift. It's not the PS4 VR. It's called Alt Space VR. I know nothing about it, but what I have seen of it is. Do you remember the PS3 thing, the kind of hub type thing, where like if you were into Harry Potter, you could go and.
Oh, I did that.
Yeah, you had the thing. Yeah, whatever that was.
It was part of PlayStation Plus. You had to have PlayStation Plus to do it.
Yes, it's very like that.
Oh, okay. It's kind of like Second Life type thing, where it's VR based.
Yeah, and but it looks like it can be whatever you want it to be. Like I've seen you kind of meet up in these kind of penthouse sort of areas, and you have your own avatar. They're quite emotive. You can talk to other people.
Okay.
But you can also sit down and play virtual games of Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that. So it looks interesting, but that's as much as I know about it. But it looks really cool.
That sounds really cool. Okay. I'm going to take us in a slightly different direction.
Okay.
We're still talking VR.
Yes.
But we're no longer talking VR headsets.
Oh.
You know what I'm going to say.
I know what you're going to say. I know what you're trying to say.
I don't know how to say it.
You're trying to say, oh yeah.
No, I'm trying to say VIRTUIX. Go on, Jay.
You say, I've told you enough what it is.
No, I refuse.
It's virtue.
I know.
It's virtue.
It just bothers me. I've watched videos upon videos trying to find someone who's saying the company's name.
He spent about 10 minutes looking up videos waiting for them to say their company name. It's Virtue in a funny way.
I know. It just bothers me. Anyway, so Virtue are making this device. Funnily enough, they did it through Kickstarter. So there we are. I've actually mentioned Kickstarter. It's on the record.
It's Conor 5, J2.
No.
J1, Conor 5.
It's the first time I've mentioned Kickstarter.
But you've donated several times, so I'm counting those.
I'm
counting those.
No.
We're starting from scratch now.
We're starting from scratch.
So it's J2,
Conor 1.
Conor 1. I don't like this. Okay.
Good. I'm winning. So Virtue are making this device called the Omni. It's kind of hard to explain. It's something you kind of need to see to understand, but I'm going to do my best. So basically, it's a platform. It's maybe, we'll say, a meter squared in size, roughly. Maybe a little bit more. It's a concave vex. I always get these two words mixed up. It's a bowl. Concave.
Yes, it's a bowl shape.
It's a concave dish that has tiny, tiny, tiny little grooves in it to make it as frictionless as possible. Yeah. And then you wear these special shoes to, again, make it even more frictionless.
It's kind of like the base of an amiibo shape.
Yeah.
But it's got railings on the outside, so you can't fall.
So two bars come up, and then there's a circular kind of harness at the top. You wear this harness. You wear kind of straps around your waist,
so you can't fall.
There's now this is the interesting thing. To make it possible for you to fully twist around and as well to jump, which you can do.
Yay! Double jump?
No. I have a friend who was convinced for years that double jumping was a possible physical thing.
Because it's in so many games.
It
must be
every
true.
Game. It must be true. And the thought was that you have to be very, very fit to be able to do it.
Who the hell is your friend? Like, what are you going to get purchased on in the air?
Look, it was a kind of a thing. I was like, oh dear.
Again, how old were you? Like, I'm going to hope like really young and not 25. It's 25.
My silence said it all. Anyway, it's kind of hard to explain. So you have this circular guardrail, that you're standing in the middle of. It opens up so you can climb in and out. But
by the way, we will put a video of this up on
the
website.
Definitely,
you can see it.
Yeah.
If we're not painting good enough picture, you can see it.
I think I'm doing well.
We are.
I'm going to put a video and a link to the actual website so you can check it out. So basically, within this guardrail, then you have your harness on, but the harness kind of is another guardrail around your waist, but it has two bars that stick out that sit on top of the guardrail of the actual base.
Yes.
So that way you can't fall out because it's sitting on top of it, but that means you can fully twist around and you can jump. So
you're strapped in, you can turn the whole way around, you can jump, you can't fall out, it's safe.
Exactly, it's very, very safe. It's essentially a treadmill. Except it's a bowl. Now what's interesting is I was looking into why did they make it a bowl, why not a flat surface with a treadmill?
Because I want to move sideways in my games and backwards.
No, that's not why. It's brilliant. So I read, like I said, I was reading a bit about it, and I actually have it here. I don't have it here. But anyway,
is it not a treadmill that can move like a ball? Like whatever way you move, it moves. No. Okay, go on.
So if it was a treadmill, right?
Yeah.
When you move your foot, you actually have to put a bit more force into like dragging.
You'd have to drag it.
You'd have to drag the surface to make it move. So what is happening here is because it's a bowl, right?
Yeah.
When you put your foot up, and because it's basically frictionless, gravity brings your foot back down.
Okay.
So if you just put your foot up and then relax, you're kind of like hopping almost, I suppose, and running.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I've watched videos of people playing with this. They're playing on. They're using Oculus Rift, so it's tied to Oculus Rift.
Yeah.
It's only going to be on PC for a while. They've said there is no plans as of yet to bring it to consoles, but they don't see any issue with bringing it to consoles in the future. But they're focusing
as if there's no plans. I mean, this is tailor-made for Call of Duty.
This is what they've said. So what's really, really cool about it is that you can run full tilt.
Can I sprint? You can sprint.
People are sprinting like they're on treadmills on videos, and they're jumping, and they're crouching, and they're sidestepping, and they're skipping, and like anything that's in the full range of moving is there because of this.
So excited!
And it's just fascinating to watch because games are now actually finally going to be affected by the person's physical abilities. In terms of, when you're playing the game, it's not going to be the fecker that sprung for a horse that can run a bit faster in Elder Scrolls Online. It's going to be the actual person who can run the fastest will get there first.
Do you know what we're going to have now, though?
What?
We're going to have, you're heading into work some morning and someone says to you, wow, Tom, you've lost a lot of weight. Like, I was playing a lot of video games last week. We worked up a sweat.
Exactly. But that's brilliant, though.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Also, I read somewhere it was like one great way to help people lose weight, if they're kind of indoor people or like their video games or internet, just put up a treadmill that hooks them to their internet speed. So the faster they run, the faster their overall internal speeds would be.
I gotta get to the end of Breaking Bad. I gotta keep running.
Or even better, the game is only 1 gig. I'll sprint really fast and it'll download real quick.
You can't save unless you run another mile.
Can you imagine?
Oh my god.
was like, come on, we're going. No, I have another half mile to go before I can save. So it works with any. At the minute, it's programmed in such a way that it will work with any PC game at all that uses up, down, left, right. Buttons on the keyboard, and that it'll work. It ties into the shoes of sensors or something. I'm not entirely sure the mechanics of it. They don't reveal too much of how it exactly works because obviously they don't want people building their own one. They want people to buy them.
No.
Speaking of buying them,
Go on.
$699.
Okay, well that's not $6,000. I
It's not.
I didn't know what you're going to hit me with there.
It's not,
okay.
but again, you're not going to buy this on a whim. You're going but this is essentially your holodeck. Couple this with the Oculus Rift. There's nothing left. The only differences would be if it's raining in game and you don't feel damp. Or if it's windy and you're not.
You have to pay extra for the sprinklers.
And then the fans, and the temperature as well.
Could you imagine that though? No, let's not imagine.
No,
that,
let's not.
Okay,
let's imagine that. So I just think it needs to be said because this is the future. Like VR is.
We are living the future now.
We're living the future.
I've never felt like that before, but we are.
No, and when you look at this, I mean, you looked at a couple of videos with myself there a second ago. Well, not a second ago. And it's just brilliant. It looks so good,
but it's attainable. Like
technically,
I can
playing.
afford all of those things if I really want to.
If
you really want to.
If you save up and eat nothing but crap. And don't ever do anything fun.
Live on lettuce because I'm going to be doing a lot of running on my Omni.
Yeah, exactly. And you'll be grand. You'll be sorted. You're done.
Okay, and it will also help with your zombie apocalypse because you will be nice and fit.
Exactly, you most certainly will.
Does that count as my next Zazu?
No,
I count that?
absolutely not. Not at all.
Okay.
We're not doing Zazu this episode either. This is our special.
It's a special.
It's a special.
Just
little things. I think this is going to sound so stupid, but I'm flicking through the frequently asked questions section on the website, and some of the questions are interesting. One is, how loud is it? I was like, oh, that's something I never would have thought. Like, if you're
that
running
is important,
and it says it's no louder than the average treadmill, and they've used it in apartments and never had any complaints at all. So it's good. Can it get you in shape? The answer is basically yes. Do I need a Microsoft Kinect for the Xbox? The answer is no. The lifespan. This I thought was kind of
interesting. That's a good question, actually, the Kinect.
So, yeah, it is, yeah. I'll read it. Where is it?
Some things do require the Kinect. I think it's the HTC Vive, but the PS4 is using the PlayStation camera, so...
Exactly.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It just says, no, the Omni will come with integrated tracking hardware and software. You do not need a Kinect.
You'll just need to connect 5 USBs.
If not more. The lifespan, I think this is an interesting little thing. So the Omni surface and shoes don't have any coats. So the surface of the bowl and the surface of the soles of the shoes have no special coating or anything.
Okay.
So they are susceptible to wear and tear.
Oh, do you need to grease them up or anything?
No. The wear and tear improves because what ends up happening is the tiny little grooves will form, but they'll only form in the direction of the bowl, which will make it'll reduce even more any friction that's there. It'll reduce friction even further.
So the more you use it,
the better
more
it
improves.
Yeah.
No.
I'll read out exactly what they said.
That never happens with anything.
So, the Omni surface and shoes are not coated, but are made of a solid, low-friction material. Therefore, there is minimal surface wear and tear. On the contrary, use of the Omni surface and shoes create micro-grooves that improve the low-friction characteristic of the Omni over time. So, in other words, use it more and it gets better.
Do you know, the first thing that popped into my head there was buying a pre-owned car and the dealer telling me, don't worry, we haven't serviced it, but the more you drive it, the better it'll get.
Some random little bits and pieces that people will be wanting to know. Can anyone small or tall use the Omni? Answer is yes. So the final production waist support ring will be adjustable to accommodate heights ranging from 4'8" to 6'5".
I have a question.
Okay.
Weight. Will weight come
and
into
a
this?
Maximum user weight of 285 pounds.
What's that in stone? A normal weight, what is that?
You figure that out while I read. And the waist harness...
100 what? 100 what? I'm googling.
285 pounds. And then the harness itself comes in various sizes. So that's the harness that you wear that rests on the support ring, and the one that enables you to jump and move. And the waist support ring itself has a 20-inch diameter. So unless you're huge, this is fine. And anyone I've seen using it, they've all been different heights and varying sizes and stuff.
You can't be heavier than 20.3 stone.
So that's heavy.
Yeah, you know, most people will be under 20.
Yeah.
Well, you'd hope.
And as well, if you're over 20 stone, this is good motivation to help you shed those extra stones and pounds.
Yep, shed an extra.
And then once you get there, once you're able to use it,
well, then it's self-sustaining at that point.
Yeah,
you're just going to keep
losing. It's good. Do you know what? Just everyone should buy this. Now, so look, that's it about the Omni. I just think it's a fascinating piece of hardware. It's an expensive piece of hardware. It packs away quite easily. The support ring and the two stands, I suppose, that connect the ring to the base, all fold up quite neatly. And it
that's good. That would be worrying. You would be wondering, is it going to have to stay right in front of the TV? Or
no, it doesn't. You can put it away fairly easily. I'd say though, once you take it out, you never would want to put it away. I'd say you'd just be constantly playing every game ever.
Depending what your home situation is.
Obviously, yeah.
Get yourself a man cave, people.
Yeah, you need the man cave. The man cave is so important. So there will be a link to their website and a link to their. I'll get the best video that they have to show off the actual hardware and embed that on our site, as well as a link to their actual
and
website.
Anything that we've talked about today, we are going to put a video, a link will be there, because it's kind of hard to explain VR if you haven't experienced it yourself, which none of us
You're
really
a bad
have.
friend.
Why? What did
I
do?
told you to remind me of who's the daddy and you didn't.
Who's the daddy?
Only for
who's the daddy?
Only for I wrote it down.
Okay.
Anyway, Who's the Daddy is a VR game. That I watched a 5-minute demo of alpha footage on it, and I was cracking up, roaring, laughing, and I grabbed T and I was like, "Take it over here! Look at this! Look at this!" And
okay, but who is the daddy?
Who's the Daddy is a 2-player VR game. I'm assuming because of the nature of VR, people will only be buying one, that it'll be online.
And when you turn heads, can you see each other?
It's 2, So it's a 2-player game.
Yes.
One player is the dad.
Yes.
And his mission in the game, and the way he beats the other player, is he walks around his home and baby-proofs the house.
Oh, God.
Player 2 is the baby. whose mission is to die.
So your mission is to find out as many ways you can get yourself into trouble. Oh my God.
I'm telling you, it's priceless. As I was watching it, and I mean, there's one bit where the dad is in the sitting room and he's putting the kind of like covers for the sockets, and he's covering up all of them, and meanwhile the baby is turning on and crawling into the oven.
God, is the dad like meticulously going around constantly trying to baby-proof the place, or does he get like tired and fed up and sits down and watch the football for like 20
No, it's not real life. It's a game.
Okay.
Don't be ridiculous. But it's priceless. I mean, I literally cracked up the whole time laughing at it. It's hilarious, and it's brilliant because whoever was playing as the baby was ruthless.
Oh, you're always going to want to be the baby, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I would enjoy being the dad in that game as well, because you would be like, "Ha! I beat you. You live." You know, it's usually the other way around.
Can you imagine kids having this conversation? I want to be daddy. No,
I want to be the daddy. Yeah.
You're the baby this time.
Hence the name of the game. Who's the daddy?
Who your daddy?
But it's hilarious. There's one particular bit where the baby was in the oven and the dad came over.
The baby was in the
oven. The oven was on.
Yeah.
And from the dad didn't know where the baby was. And when the baby is at risk of dying, the dad gets this little dee-doo kind of alarm.
Spider sense?
Kind of, yeah. So he said the dad player was running around in a frantic panic and then found the baby. But they clearly didn't master the controls, either player, because the dad opens the oven and the baby just closed it. And
no.
just keep going. And,
no, Daddy, I've seen enough of the world now.
Look, this game, you're going to really like it. I'm going to put a direct link up. It's hilarious. You're going to enjoy it, people. So, Jay, final thoughts on VR?
Final thoughts. I think it's...
Why are you excited, and how excited are you?
My hype level is at 90 at the moment. I'm really looking forward to this. I think this is kind of the culmination of a lot of things that I've been looking forward to in games. It feels like this is the year I've been waiting for. This is the year where I finally get that experience.
So what you're saying is now is the time to be alive.
Now is the time to be alive. We are the correct age. We can afford some of these things now. Imagine if we were still teenagers going, "Oh my God, will Mom get this for me?" No. Oh God.
I'll take out all the rubbish ever.
This year we are going to be playing VR. There's no way around it. We are going to have VR.
Well, I will correct you on that. This year we are, because I was playing Google Cardboard. I know it's not
currently already doing it. Yeah. But when it
I know what you
becomes
mean.
real for me is when I get my hands on the PlayStation VR and I turn it on for the first time.
It's
I
gonna be
just
amazing.
can't wait for it, and we'll probably do another review afterwards, or many.
Well,
to
this
come.
this is our speculative. This is our excited episode, so
Yeah.
it's fine. It's legit. Yeah, no, I'm the same as yourself. My hype levels are way up there. They're up to 11. I'm on a different scale to you. But I think the thing that excites me more than the game aspect is everything else. I mean, this is a piece of technology that people who do not play games will be fascinated by and want to integrate with. And I think that excites me just that.
It
little
might
bit
be a
more.
window. As
Yeah,
well.
I think it's going to be a bit of a gateway to other things. Now, no one's going to be buying just the PlayStation VR and be able to hook it up because you need the PlayStation console, you need the camera as well. But it's just, it excites me, the possibilities, because I think we haven't even scratched the surface of the tip of the iceberg.
Well, if Game Freak ever announced that adventure Pokemon game,
Oh,
you'll never see me ever again
No,
unless you log in. And
exactly. Jay, if people want to ask us more questions about VR or look at any of the things we mentioned today, where should they go?
well, they can find us on our website at geeksinthecloset.com. They can also get us on that Twitter machine. They find Geeks at GeeksITC. And
of course, we have Facebook as well. Geeks in the Closet. If you search for us, you will find us there. Be sure to check out the website. We are putting up articles fairly often. And not only that, but you will hear from us very soon with episode 5, which hopefully Fran will have returned from his run.
my God, where is he?
I know, it's been an hour and a half and he hasn't returned at all. It's ridiculous.
There needs to be some sort of penalty for this.
We'll discuss this when the episode's over. Because the thing is, he's probably going to hear this episode before we see him.
Yes, he will.
We'll discuss when the episode's over
Okay.
and spring it on him.
So, Fran, when you're listening to this, something
Be
horrible
prepared.
is going to happen to you. You'll have to do it on air. We don't know what it is yet. I'm just thinking about it now, but
we'll figure something out.
yeah. And to our listener, congratulations, you've just gotten to the end of our first special. Go you.
I really wish there was some like post credits snippet we could give them.
I'm sure we can add something in.
We'll add something in.
T? Thumbs up, thumbs down? Can we do that?
We'll
Legal
figure it out.
team is scowling. Don't talk to team.
Oh, no,
okay,
no,
don't do that. Okay.
Alright, thanks once again, listener, and we shall catch you on episode 5. This has been Conor,
This has been Jay.
and peace out. See you later.
Slán.